Hey there, Chex Mix Chicks and Chicos. Welcome to Triple J. It's me, your boy, Dr. Dre, and I'm about to spit straight granola bars on this track. This chapter of our chase trek to glory is filled with things not worth ignoring. The ties that bind two hearts to one another, nerd news with Nana, and something or other. So come on down, pull up a stump, take a load off, getting familiar with the humble abode of John, Jackie, JT, 3 snacks to take a bite. Come join the mix. Feel free to hitchhike.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone.
Hey, everyone. What he said.
Nice. Well, dang, it's wonderful to have you guys join us for this episode. This is, as I will explain on TikTok before this episode is being released, we had a few technical difficulties getting this episode produced, and it is very much of a brain fart on my end. So apologies for that. And we're going to do, this is our second time recording this episode, and we're going to try and do a little bit of, not much of an abridged, but more of a streamlined aerodynamic version of this episode. So just buckle your seatbelts and let's go on this ride.
The Lost Files.
The Lost Files.
Anyway.
Sweet. All right, so the first section is going to be Nerd News with Nana.
Nerd News with Nana.
Who is Nana, you ask? Well, that's a mystery to all of us. So
yeah, we don't know.
We are just as clueless as you guys. You can let us know if you ever figure out who she is.
She just gives us news, and then we report it.
Exactly. She's our inside source on everything nerdy. So I'm going to go ahead and get the obvious one out of the way, all you guys. I also want to make a special announcement that we have a special guest on the episode. It is the mighty and the myth legend is John Michael Wallwork. Welcome, bro.
John Michael.
What's up, everyone? Shut up.
I know. Oh my gosh. No, I know. But yeah, say hi, John Michael, and introduce yourself for a little bit.
Hey, what's up? I'm John Michael. I'm glad to be here. I just wanted to. I have another J name, so I thought it'd be fun to tag along for a day. And yeah.
Wonderful.
Well,
nice. Cool. So I wanted to try and get the big nerd news out of the way, which I know that you guys are all thinking about, was we finally got a good Christmas present from Marvel in the form of the first No Way Home trailer. So first instinct thoughts, takeaways from you guys. What did y'all think about the trailer? JT, why don't you start?
It was beautiful. I am so excited for that movie. I think that trailer finally, the hype had been built up for so long. I mean, it's still being built up, but like that trailer it was kind of like a little dynamite, just a little explosion, just kind of like doink. They're like, here you go. And it confirmed a lot of things, a lot of theories, and I'm excited. That's all I'm trying to say is I'm very excited.
Nice. I did feel like we needed was pretty much just that pumpkin bomb to just bounce on the floor. We heard the laugh. Man. That's all we needed.
Yeah.
There's only one person who can laugh like that.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And it's not the young dude, the young Harry from Amazing 2. So
yeah, no.
that would be the craziest troll that they could ever throw at us.
Yeah,
very true.
It was actually him. That would be insane. Yeah. Jackie, why don't you share? What were your thoughts?
Because I was like, maybe I shouldn't watch it, but then one of my friends sent me a meme with the Doc Ock, and it said "Hello, Peter," and I was like, dang it! Like I've been trying to avoid this, but I guess if it's in the trailer, I guess I just might as well watch it now because it's not like
Yeah.
spoiling the movie. So I went and watched it, and I was really glad it was just like the teaser trailer because it was really good, and it's just like you said, it was just enough. Like we didn't need the actual thing; we just needed the pumpkin bomb and the laugh. And then at
Yep.
the end, when we see Doc Ock's arms, and then you see him, and he's like, "Hello, Peter," and it just ended like that was perfect.
Perfect.
Although I will say it does seem kind of corny. I don't know like plot wise how it's gonna work out, but just from what it seems like, where Doctor Strange is not supposed to cast this spell, but then he does it anyway. But he's supposed to be like this grand master wizard, and I was like, wait, shouldn't he know not to cast this spell if it's not like a
Mhm.
if it's a dangerous spell kind of thing? So I was like,
Yeah.
I was wanting to learn more about that, but again, like since we don't know the plot, I can't really say for sure it's corny or not. But I'll wait till the movie comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
What did
Yeah.
you think, John Michael?
Oh, John Michael. Let's see. Yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I think you're right. Like they did the right thing in the subtleties. I think that's the right way to first reveal something. I think with like with Star Wars, whenever there's just even like I don't know if y'all saw the Mandalorian at all, but just the subtle things they do to hint what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing as far as like how early on we are. I mean, we're not seeing Far From Home. I don't know when the date is actually,
Is
but
this December?
December.
Yeah.
Yeah,
December
it's gonna be a little
17th.
while. Yeah, and so I love the idea that they're not they're not just throwing everything at us yet. They're just subtly like saying, "Hey, there's this," which means there's going to be more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that made me think like, oh, if they have those two characters, what about the Tobey Maguire?
Yeah,
and
it keeps
other
your
two?
it keeps your curiosity going.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I'll say it. I do want to see some Andrew Garfield stuff in there.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I'm one of the weirdos who actually kind of enjoyed Andrew Garfield.
oh yeah,
So,
me too. I didn't.
Oh
think
yeah. Absolutely.
For sure.
yeah, so I want to see both, and so I mean, whatever happens, I'm interested. Like I'll see it, but it'll be cool seeing how this all pans out and what they include and what they
because they were saying that they're trying to deny, oh, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield aren't going to be in this movie and other stuff like that. Even though after like a while, like because there are all these leaks coming out at first, and they're like, oh no, they're not in the movie. And then now when they show the Doc Ock and the Green Goblin film, I'm like, if they don't include them in this movie, they're gonna let so many people. Yeah, and I'm like, you can't like there is a good sense like where they put the like they're like, oh, this is gonna like the hints and whatever.
Yeah.
But if you don't follow up with the hints, you're just gonna like make everybody disappointed. And it's like you do it is good, but at the same time you have to back it up. So they better be ready to include those two.
Yeah. Right now, there's so much anticipation for us to see Tobey Maguire or other Spider-Mans that like if they didn't do that, people would be mad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I think that I agree with you guys that they aren't showing us everything. I think to bounce off what you were saying, Jackie, it was like that about questioning about Doctor Strange, why would he go through with this? Was I think the theory is going around now. Okay, here's the thing. So when Peter goes to Doctor Strange to ask, to make everybody forget that he is Spider-Man, right? That's actually straight from a comic series, a very important comics, well, not series, but a very important story in Spider-Man comics called One More Day, which is right after Civil War in the comics. So, and y'all remember, if y'all remember Civil War, like that's where Spider-Man first reveals his identity to the public in the comics universe. So this is like the fallout of that. So now that he's done that, he's wishing that it didn't, because at that point, him revealing his identity has gotten Aunt May into trouble. She actually had gotten shot and is in the hospital, and she's not doing so good. So he goes to Doctor Strange to ask if he can erase everybody knowing that his secret identity. Doctor Strange says no in the comics, and so the next person that he goes to is Mephisto, the devil, and the devil's the one that actually does it for him, but it comes at a price, and he has to suffer the consequences because it ruins his marriage with Mary Jane, because their whole relationship springboarded after the fact that she found out about who he was, but so it cost him that, and it also it was a lot of fallout from even that. And of course, that's how the devil works. So people are thinking that at least that version of Doctor Strange being willing was either he's being manipulated by, or he's actually Mephisto in disguise. But that's far-reaching a little bit, honestly.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be. I think he just says that to get Wong off his back in that scene, but then when the trailer sets it up to where Doctor Strange is being like, oh, this is all happening because of you leading a double life and all that kind of stuff and everything, and something like that. He's getting on to Peter about what he did, but I think they've structured it that way for us to think it that way. I think what is actually going to happen is that he's going to get onto him before they cast a spell, and then he's going to allow Peter to for this to be a lesson for him to learn. I think that's probably what it's going to be. But also, I think that, again, I think what we've seen in the trailer is just maybe half the movie.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Maybe like a third. And so there's probably going to be some crazy other stories that are crazy other, parts of the plot that are going to surprise us, which I hope that they keep out of all the trailers.
True. But also, if you think about the MCU Doctor Strange, and he's kind of a douche, and he's like, I'm going to do it anyway, even because you told me no. Like, you say no, I'm going to do it anyways, just because that's who I am. So I think, that might be more where they're going. That's just my theory.
That is one of the arguments for the other side as well. That's from what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
Definitely. Cool. But I totally excited. I think I really hope that they save the other two Spideys for the movie. I really hope that they don't reveal any of it in the trailers. That'll be a great surprise.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'd want to see it in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways. So what was I going to say? The other piece of news that I wanted to bring up was that we've got they announced that what's her name? Well, I don't know the actress's name, but the character Riri Williams is going to be appearing and making her debut in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
Oh.
Do y'all know who Riri Williams is?
Oh, no.
So she's actually the next gen Iron Man, sort of. So she's not specifically Iron Man. Her hero name is Ironheart, but she is like the other really 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 smart person on the planet, and she takes Iron Man's armor and upgrades it, and then she becomes her own version of that. So she's getting her own Disney Plus series in maybe 3 years from now, or 2 years from now. And so, but before that show comes out, she'll be appearing in the Black Panther sequel, and that's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are they going to do the Black Panther sequel? Are they going to recast the Black Panther?
I heard they weren't.
They have made the official announcement that they're not going to recast T'Challa. So we may see Shuri take up the mantle, which that's happened in the comics. So that'll be that's acceptable, at least in my mind. So yeah, I think that's what they'll go with. I'm not sure how they're going to explain his absence, though. I'm honestly not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so that's going to be happening. That's exciting. And then to cover the news point that we had covered in the old version of this episode, so we got the first look at Moon Knight's costume.
Yes.
Which he's going to have his new Disney Plus series at the beginning of next year. They've already started filming it, and it looks amazing. It looks so good. His look looks almost like a mummy, almost, which fits his theme, which he's like, kind of inhabited or powered by the Egyptian moon god Khonshu. So that works perfectly for him.
Oh yeah.
And also, if y'all don't know, like Oscar Isaac is going to be playing him, which that's going to be fantastic.
He's going to do awesome with that. I'm excited to see him play that role.
Oh yeah,
That's good enough.
but
Moon Knight. Explain that.
Moon Knight. JT, you want to take this one?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I'm sorry. Who is Moon Knight?
Who is Moon Knight? So Moon Knight is basically Marvel's Batman if he had the powers of Moon,
Okay. Cool.
basically, and if he killed people.
Okay.
So Moon Knight, he's an interesting character. Basically, he was a soldier or mercenary. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but he.
It's all of the above. But
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that's for later.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. But he was out on a mission somewhere in the Egyptian desert, and his crew or his squad basically betrayed him, beat him up, left him for dead. He crawled into a tomb and was met with the Egyptian moon god Khonshu, who saved his life, but basically used him as a more or less herald, and inhabited his body, and basically split his personality. So I think he ends up with several. I can't remember the names of all of them, but there are like 3 main personalities that end up inside this one guy's body. Khonshu being one of them, and he has 2 other ones. And so he basically, runs around and beats up bad guys, but his powers wax and wane with the moon. So he's stronger on a full moon, a little bit weaker with waning, waxing moons, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. Truth be told, I don't know exactly what his powers are.
I got you. Let's see here.
You can probably look it up. But he is famously quoted as saying that he wears white because he wants his enemies to see him coming, to put the fear in them.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's why he wears white.
Oh, wonderful. So, according to Marvel.com, let's see. Over his years as Moon Knight, Mark Spector is his name, has also exhibited periodic demonstrations of supernatural powers such as enhanced strength during nights with full moons, prophetic visions and dreams, and the ability to drain another person's life energies through physical contact.
Wow.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I kind of passed the torch to JT to explain that, since he's or JT likes Moon Knight a lot, so I wanted to try and give him the honor of doing that.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I feel like I kind of failed though because I didn't even know what his powers were, but that's okay.
I mean, honestly, like I mean, it's not much from what we've seen. It's not much powers, but
True.
it's not as intense or intricate as like Superman's or something like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cool. Well, that wraps up Nerd News with Nana. And we can move on to our next segment.
Campfire stories.
Booyah. Jackie,
Booyah.
what are we going to be covering through Campfire Stories?
John Michael, what are we going to be covering through Campfire Stories? No, I'm just kidding. This decides whether you continue on the podcast or not. You have 3 seconds. 3,
What?
2. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So we will be covering how we met our significant other, whether it be a wife in the other 2 nuts cases, or in my case, a girlfriend. And I don't know if John Michael is
Nope.
taken.
I'm single.
Single and ready to
You heard it
mingle.
here first, ladies.
Ladies.
Oh my gosh. Oh no.
Oh, wonderful.
we knocked over a cup.
Wonderful.
Well, anyways,
Yeah.
Drayton, why don't you kick us off?
Yes, will do. Thank you. So the story of how Joy and I met each other was we both met at a conference center that we were both working at in the summer of 2018. She had just come back to the States from South Africa, which is where her family and she and her family served as missionaries. And this was after my junior year of college. So the conference center, the summer that we were working there, it was my second summer, and it was her first. So I was kind of a little bit, like coming home, but it was more of like, more of a crazy experience for her, since it was her first summer. The first thing that caught me was, her eyes. They were just like the perfect shade of blue. They weren't like too piercing, like it, stares directly into your soul like some other people. And then there's other ones that are a deeper, darker blue that it kind of just, almost looks brown or black. So is the perfect shade. And that's what I instantly loved about her. And then I got to know her more, and I got to know and see how big of a heart she had for other people, and how caring she was. And she was really, really, really sweet, and a lot of fun too. Since she grew up with brothers, she she could give it and take it at the same time. So that was always great. So I knew that I wanted to get to know her more, and further the relationship a little bit more. But I had found out that within the first, I'd say, month or so of the summer, she had already shot down 4 other guys who had made moves on her. So I wasn't going to be the 5th. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to play the long game. I found out that she was headed to the same college as I was already attending. So I was like, yep, this is perfect. I'm just going to wait it out. I'm going to shoot the long run. So,
Game.
yes, I kind of, just left it as, I'll get to know her as I get to know her and stuff like that. And, the fall, went by. I didn't see much of her. Kind of what that time was to me, still trying to figure myself out, because the previous semester, like the spring of 2018, was kind of a turbulent time for me. And the fall was kind of like the last bit of that. So after all that had subsided, and just a few days before this spring semester of 2019 began, she actually asked me out to go and hang out and do mini golf. So I was like, whoa, from my experience, I was like, oh, she's wanting to hang out. She asked me. Like, there's a lot of other of our mutual friends that live in the area, but she asked me. That's cool. But from what she explains, is that nobody else was available or in the area at that time. So she was like, oh, I can hit up Drake and do something. So we did mini golf and got milkshakes afterwards. And but then throughout that spring semester, we started seeing more and more people. Not more and more people, sorry. We started seeing more and more of each other, and it all culminated into, of course, the perfect place to spur on romantic relationships, and that is NASCAR. So NASCAR. My dad had gotten extra tickets to the Atlanta race, so I had invited Jackie and Joy. But Jackie had pulled out and could not make it. And of course, both Joy and I were wondering whether he was planning something or not. But Joy was like texting him, like, did Drayton ask you to do this, or are you trying to work with him or something like that, set up something? And Jackie's like, no. Like, Jackie had somewhere to be, so he had a valid excuse.
Let me check. I might can even check my messages with Joy and see if I can remember what it was, because I still can't remember what I had.
You're fine. Let me know when you find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it ended up just me and Joy going. So we drove down there, and that's where she met my family and was able to spend time with them and stuff like that. So we, spent a lot of time talking when we were at the race, and we drove back that night. We actually shared testimonies with each other and really got to know each other on a deeper level. And yeah, we kept hanging out. And it was actually after we had watched. I was walking her through. I can't remember if I was walking her through the MCU or we were just going through it together. But we had just watched Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World, and of course I remember the movies, But anyways,
Naturally.
and it was after that she was like, "Hey, can we talk?" Like she had a little DTR conversation and explained her feelings for me. And apparently what had happened was that leading up to the race, she was actually praying to God that she was praying that, Lord, please give me the strength to tell Drayton that I am not interested in him and I do not want to be more than friends with him. But some kind of divine intervention happened at NASCAR that changed her mind. But I think it was just that she clicked so well with my family. And she remembered me, I guess. I don't know, but something changed her mind, and she. But I pretty much said the same thing. I was like, yeah. I mean, not that I was praying against it beforehand, but like, yeah, that I had feelings for her, and so we started dating, and then we got engaged in May of last year, 2020, sorry, and then we got married of October of 2020. Yep, we are coming up on 11 months. September 17th, the day after my birthday, will be 11 months of marriage.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but she is amazing, and she is beautiful and lovely, and I love her to death. No, she is not standing right next to me or over my shoulder.
Yeah, I was gonna say, blink twice if you want help.
No, she's actually not in the room with me, but yeah, I know that she can hear me.
She had a gun to your head. This is why you have to say all this stuff.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But yep, that is my story.
It's a beautiful story. So basically, the thing that I get from your story is that for those of you listening, if you ever want to know if she's really that into you, just take her to a NASCAR race.
Booyah. Boogity, 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 let's go dating.
Oh boy.
All right, JT, you grace us with your words of poems of love.
Poems of love, and anyways, all right. I was gonna try and say something, and then I don't know, it didn't work. But anyway, so I met my wife Faith in I think we first noticed each other, fall of 2018, somewhere in that time frame. We were taking a couple classes because we went to school together and we were in the same couple classes. And we started talking when I ran in a relay race and I fell off of a wall. Well, I stepped off of a wall. I was running on top of it, trying to get somewhere, and I scraped up my leg. And so I, did the natural thing and posted about it on Instagram. You know how that goes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do? You gotta post your battle scars and your wounds.
Exactly.
Yeah, real men do that. But
Ooh.
so I did that, and then a couple days later, she, well, let's see, I can't remember, it was like the day after. She messaged me and was like, "Oh my gosh, you okay? What happened?" And we started chatting and went from there. I'm absolutely convinced, though, that it's actually because of my Camaro that I had at the time. That's yeah, because I had bought a Camaro, and then 5 days later is when she messaged me. So that's what I'm convinced about.
Chicks dig the car.
Yeah, see, they did the car, so it worked out. It was a bright orange Camaro. It was beautiful, beautiful car.
Yep.
But anyways, she'll wholeheartedly disagree. That's not why she did it, but whatever. So we started talking. I put her in the friend zone. I told her I didn't want to date, and then like 3 weeks later, I was like, "That was dumb. Date the girl." Go and ask her out.
Freaking idiot.
Yeah, idiot. And so she agreed for some miracle. We went out on a date and we started dating. And then a month later, we broke up. And the night after that we broke up, I was like, "Dude, you're an idiot. Why'd you do that?" And yeah, it was a rough start for us. So I texted her the next, or like the Monday. I was like, I broke up on Saturday. I texted her like Monday. I was like, "Okay, that was dumb. I'm sorry. Can we talk?" So she agreed, and we started talking. And I worked my way back up. We went to dinner that Friday. She let me suffer for a couple days, and she brought a list of questions. You can ask her about this. I'm pretty sure she still got it. Her list of questions for me, and we sat down at dinner, and it like a front and back, just questions, and I don't remember exactly all what they all were, but she was asking me questions and like, "Why'd you do this? What are you gonna do about this? How are you gonna handle this situation?" And da 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 da. And I must have, satisfied her with my questions, because here we are 2 years later and we're married. So that worked out. So, shortly after that, we were back together and we were good. And I proposed in September of 2019. And then we got married in April of 2020. And we're here.
Wonderful.
So that's my story.
Yeah. And how did y'all get married again?
Oh, that should be a whole show in itself. But in a nutshell, we were supposed to get married in June, and then obviously COVID happened, so we canceled it, and we eloped on the front lawn of the church with our family and the people who were going to be in our bridal party. And I will never forget my buddy Drayton. And the fact that he showed up to my wedding in a Captain America hoodie and jeans. Never forget it.
Okay.
I guess it is kind of my fault because I told him casual.
Yes.
But like, I
Yeah.
assumed that he would think that it's a wedding, so it's like, church casual, not like, I'm going to Wendy's casual.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But it worked out.
It worked out. It was a wonderful time.
I'll have to post that picture. I'm gonna go find that picture, and then after
Lord.
this episode releases, I'm gonna post that picture
Oh,
again
geez. Okay, we could do that.
because it's glorious.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it is. It is very much so.
But
Oh my goodness.
story.
Well, Jackie, you want to tell us your tales of love and romance?
Well, mine, we had added each other on Snapchat, but then we had stopped talking. So, one day, she posted on her story that she was making this naan bread from Uzbekistan, and I was like, "What? How do you know about this?" Like, I was like, "How would she know?" Like, because I thought she was just American, and I was like, "Did she go to Uzbekistan?" And I just missed that when we started talking, or what's the deal? So I messaged her about it, and she was like, "No, I just like making bread from different places, and today it was just the Uzbekistan naan bread." And I was like, "Wow!" So like I've actually been there and had the bread, and of course there's with the naan bread there's lots of different types, but the Uzbek one is pretty much similar to the one we had in Kazakhstan. So I was like, "Well, I've had the bread from the country and from like Kazakhstan as well, and it's basically like I just said the same thing." And so from there we just pretty much started talking quite a bit because we also had quite a few things in common from before, like when we first started talking. Like she liked praying mantises, and I had a praying mantis as a pet before too. And she's wanting to buy a praying mantis as a pet soon, so hopefully that will get she can do that soon, so I can see another praying mantis as a pet because they're really fun. But so we started talking, and she there was something else I was going to say, but I forgot what it was. We had started talking, and we just hit it off. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Because she had ended up going to a international school in America, I think, where it was like 1% like American people, and then the rest of the population or whatever was like international students. So she grew up in a similar place to me, so we kind of had the same cultural experience, kind of. So it was easier to relate to each other as well. And then she goes to school close to me, and so it was where my parents had also gone to school, or the same area at least. So I knew a few places around there, and so when I would go and hang out with her, I'd tell her places that I knew around there, and she would tell me places she knew around there, and then we would just go to different ones, and sometimes they were the same, and so then we pretty much just started hanging out more and more, and then from there it just kind of, I mean, of course I asked her to be my girlfriend. It wasn't just we both didn't say anything and we just both knew we were dating kind of thing. Like I asked her to be my girlfriend because I like doing that.
It was more like,
Hey, guess what? You're my girlfriend now.
yeah, you,
No,
me,
no.
together.
Like we had talked about it, but I still wanted to ask her.
Yeah.
So I did.
What did you do?
And, that was in February. So our 6 month was just last week.
That's so
Aw.
sweet.
Yep.
Well, many congratulations to you both.
Yes.
Thank you.
And that's many as in MANY, not MINI.
A little congratulations.
Congratulations. Wonderful. Well, that was awesome.
That's good.
And John Michael, you have a report to give for yourself?
I'm good right now. I'm
Wonderful.
doing right.
You got a new dog.
you-
I did.
Yep.
Well,
Hey,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Nah.
What kind of dog?
Yorkie.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Ladies love the doggies.
Yeah. Who needs ladies when you got a dog?
Exactly. Exactly.
I
That's
am not
perfect.
going to comment because I have one of each. So
Well.
Competition.
Oh goodness. Wonderful. Well, so speaking, say again.
Me or the dog.
Exactly. That's yeah. Always a good idea to give a man an ultimatum.
absolutely.
Yeah. Uh, well, anyways, speaking of dating and relationships, I wanted to touch on just a topic that was raised, and so I know you mentioned, Jackie, that you and your girlfriend met, like, I guess through social media first, right? You didn't meet in person. Okay. So, say again.
Yeah, we basically met through social media since the first time we met didn't really count.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to try and hear your guys' thoughts about this. So, like, what do y'all think about the pros and cons, or even just the differences between, like, at least seeking out relationships or starting relationships either over the internet / social media, or in person, like with people around you, like from personal, like in person experiences and stuff like that. What are y'all's thoughts on that?
Well, it is harder to I guess find or not like talk to someone because let me explain that it doesn't sound exactly how I said it. I'm trying to think and I can't speak while I'm thinking. But so basically, if you have a like say you have a dating profile and you match with somebody, like for guys, statistically speaking, they're gonna have less matches to talk to than girls, and so as a guy, you kind of have to get her attention with like one text, or else she'll just move on to another one, or you'll get lost in the inbox of ever growing matches. So the thing with online stuff is you kind of have to to talk or not talk say something about yourself, or say something funny or witty that gets her attention. But the thing is, if you don't know her, you don't know what gets her attention. So it's kind of like a hit or miss. And like a friend told me before, it's basically just a numbers game, because eventually you'll have somebody that um, is on the same wavelength as you, and you'll be able to talk from there. But the thing is, sometimes once you start talking, you find out things that, oh, I don't want to go any further with this person. So then you have to go back to the drawing board. And so it's basically just a numbers game.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
So weird. Like, yeah. So, like, do the statistics know, like, why the females that have so many more matches than the guys do?
I think it's because females aren't as desperate as men.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
But also they're not like, they don't need to use the apps as much as men, because they statistically speaking, they either don't want to, or they already have people around them that they're interested in.
Nice. That's a good explanation.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, it's not like cut and dry. Like there are always exceptions, and there's always people who are different than the cookie cutter. But
Faux show.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah. John Michael, what are your thoughts? What do you think, at least, just on the concepts of those things, what do you think would be like some possible differences or pros and cons?
Yeah. So I think for me, I've always been more of a meeting someone in person kind of person.
Mhm.
It's just more of how I guess work. You know what? I like getting
Yeah.
to know someone. I like getting to know them, and not through a digital platform, but like face to face. But at the same time, I mean, I think there's a certain point where, if you really want to date and nothing's happening, like for me, I know that once I reach a certain age, I kind of just I know that once I reach that certain age, and if I'm still not, if I'm not dating anyone or anything, I'm just gonna try a dating app, see what happens. But yeah, I think it can work, and I think it depends on. I think it still depends on you though. Like you have to still put in the effort of making it work.
That's an important point.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's some good nuggets of wisdom.
Well, let's just put on to it. We'll see if it's wisdom or not. Whatever happens.
Oh,
Smart man.
goodness.
Very smart man.
Cool. JT, what about you?
I don't think. I mean, I really don't have a whole lot to add from what they were saying. I mean, ultimately, in a relationship, you're gonna have to talk in person at some point. 'Cause that's just there's nothing that quite does match seeing someone face to face and talking to them and looking in their eye and just having that physical interaction with in that particular setting. But I also know, like, there's a couple that I know that, like, their first 6 months of, I guess you would call it dating or whatever, they were, across the country. I mean, and it was solely through, I think they met on like Facebook or something, and then they, texted and like called and like that was their whole relationship until they finally ended up. So they ended up at the same school, and then they decided to get married like 2 months later.
Yeah.
Like, and they're doing great, and they're in a great relationship. So I think what John Michael said is probably the most. It all depends on you and how much effort you put into it.
Yeah, definitely. You find what works for you, and that is what it is.
And that is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, my mom always likes to say that everyone's got their own story. Live your story. What works for you won't work for someone else, and what works for someone else ain't gonna work for you.
Yep. That is what I've told people is God, you got your own story. God's got something planned for you. Like with my brother Isom, like he met his wife, and it was his first relationship.
Yep.
And then for me, it was number 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. It's just, crazy.
Huh, that's funny. I didn't realize mine was also number 5. That's funny.
Well, I think that both of us should have a mambo for it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Mambo number 5.
Yeah,
Song,
Mambo number 5.
song. Yeah, y'all look it up. It's fun. It's good. It's good.
Great song.
Well, good. That was great. That was a great conversation, guys. Thank you so much for your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. That was awesome.
Good. Well, I think that's all we've got for it right there. I believe that we have some sort of comedy, if you can call it that, from JT to wrap everything up.
Yeah, so I will let I will let you guys choose what I do tonight. So I can tell a story, or I have a pretty quick little one-liner that I can give you.
Tell us a story.
You want a story?
Let's do a story.
All right. I'm going to tell you a story about a monk.
Oh,
No.
okay.
Oh no.
So, there was this guy. I don't know. We'll call him Ben. So Ben was driving through the mountains, somewhere out there in the Himalayas. He was cruising along, putting along. He was on, this vacation. I don't know why he would go out there for a vacation. He was some kind of outdoorsy guy, and he was just kind of looking for an adventure out in the mountains. But he was driving along, and his car breaks down, and he gets stuck on the side of the road. And thankfully, he happens to break down right in front of a monastery. And so he goes up and he bangs on the front gate, and he's like, hey, I'm sorry to bother you. My car broke down. Can I stay here tonight while I wait for the tow truck? Can I use a phone? Can I call a tow truck? Whatever. And obviously, the monks are like, oh yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here for. We help people. That's what we do. So they set up a room. They gave him a phone. He called the tow truck. We're like, okay, yeah, we'll be out tomorrow morning. We'll get you out. So he's laying in the bed, and he hears this super weird noise, and he can't sleep. He doesn't know what it is. He can't quite place it. And he's tossing and turning all night. Well, eventually he falls asleep and gets a few hours of rest, and gets up the next morning. And he asks the guy that let him in, the head monk, and he's like, "Hey, what was that sound? I couldn't hear it." And he's like, "I cannot tell you, for you are not a monk." It's like, all right, fine. So he leaves. He gets home, after the adventure, and he can't get that sound out of his head, and it just bothers him until eventually it just drives him to a point where he goes back. He bangs on the door. The guy opens it back up. He's like, "Welcome back. Did your car break down again?" He's like, "No, I can't get this sound out of my head. I gotta know what it is." And the head monk says, "Well, I cannot tell you, for you are not a monk." He's like, "I get it. I want to become a monk so that I can know." So, it's a very long process. Are you sure? He's like, I gotta know. So he does. He starts his training. He goes through the whole process. He shaves his head. He takes vows of silences for, years. He trains his mind and his body, just years and years and years of training to become a monk, like a full-fledged monk. And eventually, several years later, the Grand Master looks at him and says, "All right, you are now a monk. It is time for you to learn where that sound is coming from." And he gives him this little, iron key. And he says, "There's a door in the middle of the sanctuary, in the middle of the monastery. Go there, and you'll see what you were seeking." So he goes down and he unlocks the first door. It's a pretty plain, simple, wooden door. It's got an iron lock on it with the that fits the key. He opens it up, and behind it he sees this great, big, grand, just golden door. It's laden with jewels and all kinds of decorations, and there's this big old golden key sitting on a pedestal right in front of it. So he grabs the key and he's excited, and he opens it up. And he pushes the door open, and behind it, he sees this grand, big silver door. And it's got jewels and ornaments and decorations all over it. And there's another silver key sitting on another pedestal. He's like, okay. So he grabs the key and he opens that up. Behind that, there's this big bronze door. It's not as ornate as the other ones, but it's still huge. And there's a bronze key. And he grabs it and he opens it up, and he keeps going. And behind that, there's this ornate emerald door, and it's just this bright, dazzling green, and there's an emerald key, and he grabs the key and he keeps going, and behind that one is a diamond door, and it's just this bright, dazzling diamond, so bright he can barely see it, but he sees the key and he grabs the key and he gets past that one. Behind that is a sapphire door. It's just deep, rich blue, and it's got a sapphire key, and he goes in and he opens it up, and he goes into the next one, and finally, behind that one, he sees this simple little wooden key to a wooden door. And he opens it up, and he finally sees where it's coming from. Y'all want to know what that sound was?
Yeah.
Yes.
I cannot tell you, for you are not a monk.
I knew this one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Once
Man.
you started talking about the noise, I was like, all right, well, let's buckle in for the long one.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Oh,
So-
I heard
thank you.
another one. It's like he has to do all this stuff. Like the monk tells him he has to do all this stuff to become a monk. And then it just goes and describes all that stuff that he does. Then he comes back and they're like, okay. And they do all those doors thing. And then they're like, it gets he gets into the last chamber and he see this circle of people in this room with a dark it's like darkly it's lit but it's really dark still. And they have like some monk in the middle and he's got a person in front of him and he reaches in and he grabs the person's heart and then he lifts it up and he says, do you want to know what the sound is? And it says, no, I can't tell you because you're not a monk.
Oh my lord.
It's so intense. You're like, what in the world is going on? And it's like, nope, I can't
Yeah.
tell you.
This keeps getting deeper and deeper.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Gosh. Ay, ay, ay.
Well,
Well,
yeah. Anyway, so thank you all for listening.
Yeah.
Drayton, take it away.
thank you so much for listening to the JJJ Trail Mix podcast. We appreciate your all that you guys do to support us. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We are on YouTube as you have found out by listening to this. But please subscribe to see for any more videos or any more episodes that we post. We are also on TikTok and Instagram, so you can come and follow us there. We got some extra content for you. And you can also look there for any announcements and so on for any new episodes or new content. So we thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, and also, hey, share our videos, share our stuff,
Oh,
tell
yes.
people about us. Tell people to listen to us. You can find us on YouTube. We're gonna try and find ways to get on other platforms, but for now, that's the best way to find us. So tell people about us, share the videos, get the word out,
Yes. Multiply.
multiply. All right, thanks, y'all. See you next week.
See ya.
See you later.